Are you struggling with how to deal with all this uncertainty? You're not alone. We'll talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist and I make videos for people with anxiety or OCD. And this episode is brought to you by NoCD, providing OCD teletherapy across the country. Today I want to talk to you about uncertainty. Do you struggle with that? I know I do. Having anxiety myself, I feel very shaken when things are not certain. I like order, I like routine, I like to know what's happening, I like to know what's going to happen, I like to know what already happened. I want a lot of control. Are you like that? That's actually very common with anxiety and OCD. In fact, that's one of the biggest issues with OCD is living with uncertainty and doubt. So how do we live with uncertainty when life seems pretty uncertain right now for a lot of us? And there is no easy answer, but a lot of it is embracing uncertainty and recognizing that you don't get to call the shots and we don't get to have control over everything. And in fact, we never have, because feeling like you have some control or some role in controlling absolutely everything in your life is a facade. It's not accurate because things can happen that we can't control. So living with doubt and uncertainty is part of living life. It's part of being human. And right now, it's a little bit like on steroids. So we have to learn how to live with uncertainty at a much higher level than we ever have before. So here are a few things that I do in my life to help me feel anchored and things that I do for my kids to help them feel anchored during this uncertain time. One is I focus on what's going on today. So sometimes if we look too far into the future, it can feel really overwhelming. What will happen next week? What will happen next month? What will happen next year? So those questions can be overwhelming, especially during a very uncertain time. What will life look like? What will Earth look like? What will the culture look like? It's too much. So sometimes when you're feeling overwhelmed, you have to key into that and know, whoa, I'm feeling really, really overwhelmed by the uncertainty. I have to bring it in so I can preserve my energy and stabilize myself. So then I'm going to just focus on what am I doing today? What is certain about today? Well, I know that I'm having this meeting today, or I know that I am going to have my friend over today, or I know I'm going to be doing this activity today. Those things are certain. And so bringing it down and focusing on the now, what's happening now, what's happening tomorrow, maybe what's happening this week, that's enough. That's enough on your plate. So when you find your brain going to, oh my gosh, but what's going to happen next month? What's going to happen next year? Bring it back down, because if you're like me, that is just going to cause panic and a lot of speculation. I'm going to guess what's going to happen, and my brain isn't going to guess a beautiful thing. You're going to win the lottery, Natasha. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be something that's going to be upsetting to me. And maybe if your brain's like mine, it's the same thing. So bring it back down and focus on today, tomorrow, and this week. Keep it very, very short. When your brain starts to wander, bring it back. So the other thing to do during uncertain times is create some sort of routine that's comforting. So not a compulsion that you do, and if you have OCD, you have to be very careful about this, but some anchoring points. So creating a nice routine in the morning, especially for those that are going to be going back to school or going back to a new routine, creating a new normal for that routine can be very helpful. And regardless of whether you're going to school in person or online, or if it's going to change, this morning routine can stay the same. So I'm going to wake up, and maybe I'm going to have breakfast, and maybe I'm going to, play with my dog, and then I'm going to do this. So having some structure and routine in your morning and your evening can help. Now, if you have OCD, change it up. So don't always go, I'm going to eat breakfast, then I'm going to pet my dog for 5 strokes, and then I'm going to do this. You have to make sure that you don't get too narrow in a habit or routine, that it becomes a compulsion. So that's a caveat for that. But structure and some semblance of order can be very calming. I know it is for my own anxiety. And so for my kids, we have a routine that we do. We have to get back into it because we haven't, and that helps anchor them. So we go swimming at night. That's something that we've been doing to wrap up our evening, and that's been kind of a routine at night that no matter what's happening or how chaotic life is, we can count on that to end our day. So what is it for you? What's something that you can do in the beginning and the end of your day that kind of anchor your day and put it into some sort of routine no matter what kind of chaos or uncertainty is going on in your life? Think about that. Also, I would say, just to wrap up, you want to avoid watching things that are upsetting. So if you're watching too much news, or you're getting too much information, or you're hearing too much about the debates of what will or won't happen, you might want to dial it back. Sometimes things get a little overwhelming for me and I have to dial it back and say, I just need a break from listening to all that stuff. I need to just focus on what's happening in my immediate life. What's happening today? What am I eating today? What am I doing today? What can I focus on today? And it's really important to know when you've had too much, whether your friends or family are talking about things that are upsetting for you, and how to dial that back. It's not that you're avoiding things, it's just being clued in to know when you're feeling too overwhelmed to take on any more information, and you have to kind of turn that dial off for a little while and reset. So we've always lived in uncertainty. Nothing has been 100% certain in our lives. That's just part of the human existence. But I know that right now it's a little bit harder to swallow because we have a lot of uncertainty going on. So I hope that helps a little bit, and you can be certain that I'll be back here next Thursday with another YouTube video, and I hope you'll join me. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click the bell so you get notifications so that you don't miss my face next week, because I am consistent. I hope you find the sparkle in everything you do. I'll talk to you again next Thursday. Take care.